Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Fans of Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Paulie Price, because no one else works here. Alright, in this video, we're going to be talking about WWE Super Showdown. So let's go ahead and break down the show, and we're going to start with the first match of the night. The first match was a 6-man gauntlet match, and it started off with R-Truth. And, he came out and did his what's up. The crowd was going crazy. Good way to start the show. I love R-Truth, and he's got that good vibe. But the first opponent for him that he was going to face was Bobby Lashley. Now, this match was actually pretty good. They were going back and forth, but then Bobby pretty much had the majority of the momentum in this match. But then there was a moment where Bobby Lashley tried to spear R-Truth, and R-Truth was by one of the turnbuckles, and was able to drop to the ground, and Bobby Lashley went straight into the post. And then he kind of fell backwards, and R-Truth was on the floor, and he kind of fell over R-Truth, and R-Truth just went over for that roll-up pin and gets the win and eliminates Bobby Lashley. So I kind of like that. I thought that was a pretty good idea. It didn't hurt Bobby because, he didn't get knocked out. It was kind of like he knocked himself out. It happens, like the, slipping on the banana peel. I kind of like that. It was really cool. And then the next competitor was the U.S. champion, the man we haven't seen in 30 days because of the wellness policy, Andrade. Andrade came out and just basically handed it to R-Truth. Again, another silly moment where Andrade went to go deliver his vicious elbow to the head, and actually both R-Truth and Andrade headbutted each other. And Andrade was kind of dazed and kind of fell on the floor from that, and so did R-Truth. He actually wound up landing on top of Andrade and pinned the United States champion. So I thought that was hilarious, how R-Truth is starting the show. It was just super entertaining. And then the next competitor was just as worse, and it was Eric Rowan, and he brought out the cage and everything, and I thought it was it for R-Truth at this point. But somehow, some way, Eric Rowan was disqualified for using the steel steps. So that was pretty cool. R-Truth continues on now. The next competitor, though, AJ Styles. Now, let me tell you, AJ came out. At this point, you can see R-Truth is on the ground, and that's pretty much where he was the rest of this match, because AJ was just taunting him, dancing around, doing the dance party, and he really was just mocking the hell out of R-Truth and kicking him, and it pretty much ended with AJ Styles executing the calf crusher, forcing R-Truth to finally tap out and eliminate himself out of this matchup. I really love that. I thought that was really cool. And then we see that AJ Styles is now obviously the last competitor, which is Rey Mysterio. His music hits, but nothing. And then we see on the screen that the OC has attacked Rey Mysterio. And now AJ Styles is in the ring basically telling the ref, go ahead, ring the bell. It's over. I got it. Go do it. Let's go. Good job, by the way, by the referee, Sean Bennett. He did a great job officiating this match. Extremely long match to do, and he did a great job. So kudos for Sean on that, and especially AJ said, "Oh, you're the worst official in the business." So I thought that was pretty funny. But the next thing that wasn't funny was what happened to the OC is when they got jumped in the back by an unknown wrestler. But when we saw the boots and the coat, we kind of had a feeling. Crowd was chanting his name, and that's none other than the man himself, The Undertaker. The Undertaker returns and comes out in replace of Rey Mysterio. Basically, AJ Styles thought he was going to take on The Undertaker, but listen, choke slam to the ground, pin AJ Styles, and now Undertaker is back and won the gauntlet match and that wonky trophy. So I thought that was a really cool match. I'm happy to see that The Undertaker returned. Really cool to see him take out AJ Styles, and I'm eager to find out if that means that AJ Styles is going to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I mean, that'd be a really good match. So I'm definitely down for that. For me, I'm going to give this match a 5 out of 5. I thought it was outstanding. The whole gimmick with R-Truth, I thought that was great. Super entertaining. Cool way to start the show. And I really liked how The Undertaker came out, and it was like that big pop that we were waiting for. So good job for the guys on this match. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. All right, we're going to move over to the next match, and that was the New Day versus John Morrison and The Miz for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. This was a really good match. They put on a good show. The athleticism with John Morrison and Miz and Kofi and Big E is just astounding. And they put on a great performance. And honestly, we got to see a shocker. We got to see new tag team champions. And that's The Miz and John Morrison. These guys were champions before and they're champions again. I don't think they were ever SmackDown champions, but they were definitely tag champions before. And for me, I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. It was really good. It's telling a good story now with the New Day. We know the New Day is great on the chase for titles, so if they do a rematch at WrestleMania, I'm going to have no problem with it. And even if the John Morrison and Miz come away with the win, I think it's even better. So congratulations to those guys, and 4 out of 5 for the match. All right, the next match we're going to talk about is the rematch from Raw, and that was Angel Garza versus his cousin, Humberto Carrillo. For me, this was really entertaining. These guys put on a great performance. Considering that we saw this last week and that we're getting it again, I didn't mind it, because I did want to see a different side of Humberto Carrillo after losing to his cousin with that roll-up. But to be honest with you, I was kind of shocked at the ending, how it ended exactly the same with another roll-up. They're continuing the story down the line now. Now they're really going to make this into a grudge match. Possibly at WrestleMania, I think, or maybe they'll even try to think about doing something if there's going to be another pay-per-view before WrestleMania. I doubt it. Don't think they're going to do a roadblock. Hopefully they won't. But for me, I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. I thought it was super entertaining. It was a good follow-up for the tag match. We saw a good singles match, and 4 out of 5. All right, now we're going to move over to the Raw Tag Team titles, and that is Murphy and Seth Rollins versus the Street Profits. I kind of knew that Seth Rollins and Murphy were gonna win and retain because I just have this feeling that the Street Profits are going to win at WrestleMania, and I think this show was that way to help them just keep moving. All right, we lost, we had our shot. It hasn't stopped them before, so I just feel that this was a inevitable win for Murphy and Seth Rollins. Listen, Seth Rollins is a former Universal Champion. He beat Brock Lesnar twice. And right now, he's got Murphy under his wing, and this is nothing but good things for Murphy. So I kind of knew this was going to be a win for them, so I kind of wasn't surprised. Good performance from the Street Profits. Good performance from Seth Rollins and Murphy. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It was a really entertaining match. I was happy that the Monday Night Messiah was able to retain with his apostle, Murphy. All right, now we're going to move over to the native boy, and that's Mansoor versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, this was a match, obviously, we know that was put together for Mansoor. He's a native there. He grew up in that area, and he's pretty much had a match at every Super Showdown. So, this is a cool thing for him. I appreciate that WWE does this for him, and there's no better person to do it than with Dolph Ziggler. So, I thought it was a great match. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Good performance, and good job on Dolph Ziggler for putting over Mansoor. All right, now we're going to move over to the Brock Lesnar and Ricochet match for the WWE title. Actually, for me, I was very disappointed in this match. I really thought we were going to see a little more storytelling in this match. We didn't. Ricochet tried to come out with a drop kick. He pretty much got dropped. He got swatted away by Brock Lesnar. Brock just, I think, did maybe 1 or 2 suplex cities and then F5'd him and match over. For me, I was very upset with this match. I was expecting a little more, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I was very disappointed. All right, now we're going to move over to this oldest rivalry that they have on SmackDown, and that's Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns. Hopefully, this is the end, because honestly, I love both. I'm a Baron Corbin fan just as much as I'm a Roman Reigns fan, but I'm just tired of seeing those two guys battle, and I feel like now it's WrestleMania time. So let's break down the match. So it was a good match. They put on a great performance. Look, they were in a steel cage. Now, Baron Corbin is good at running. He's the best at it. And he's also good at throwing hands. And Roman Reigns, doesn't run from a fight. So they really did a great job, hopefully finishing the story between these two guys. And you can see here, right here, on the great shot here, by the way. I got to say, I'm definitely giving them a good rating in my production value, because I loved the shots from the show. The stage that they with the fireworks and the pyro, great show. I'll get into that later, but you can see the shot here. It really gives me goosebumps when I saw them up here. There was a moment here. There was one camera angle that I did not like. It was actually this scene. I wasn't able to find the shot, but it was a shot that was basically from the ground up. So you get that standing tall shot. It's just a couple of shots that Roman Reigns threw at Baron Corbin at his head, and they totally missed. There's a couple of moments like that it does irk me as a wrestling fan when that happens. I understand it does happen. They are holding on for dear life. So I understand that. One hand holding on, and it happens. They're putting their lives on the line. So you know what? I can look past that. So that's a little nitpick that I'm not going to really take it away from the show. So big deal. It happens in the business. They put their lives on the line. They're on the top of that cage. I mean, I bet if I go on top of that cage right now and I try to hit the guy, I'd miss him. So I'm no one to talk. But I thought they did a really good job finishing the story. And Roman Reigns, tried multiple times to do the spear. Baron Corbin was able to get away from it. I believe Roman Reigns picked up a chain that Baron Corbin used and used that with the Superman punch. And he put out Baron Corbin with that. So I thought that was cool. We didn't have to see the spear. We saw a Superman punch with the chain knocking out Corbin. So I did like that. I thought that was a good twist because it wasn't our same ending that we always get with his spear. For me, I'm going to give that match a 4 out of 5. It wasn't an amazing, ridiculous match, but they definitely put on a great performance, and hopefully it's the closure of this rivalry and this beef between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. Now we're going to move over to the women's division, and it was Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, versus Naomi. This was a pretty good match. For me, I was very happy that they were able to break another record where it was the first title match for women in Saudi Arabia, so congratulations to them on that. And they had to wear the full gear where they had to cover up and all that stuff. Listen, it doesn't take away from their performance. We don't need to see tight clothes and skin for them to be able to put on a good performance. And they showed us that. For me, there was a couple moments in the match where it really was slow and kind of dragged. But other than that, it was a good showing, and we did get to see Bayley retain her title and move on to WrestleMania now with the Women's Championship title. So congratulations to Bayley. I really thought Naomi was going to win that match. And then we see Bayley get the win. So for me, I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really good. Congratulations to the women for, making history once again. And, 4 out of 5. All right, now we're going to finish it off with the main event. And that was The Fiend, the Universal Champion, versus the infamous Goldberg. So right off the bat, Goldberg delivers a vicious spear and takes out The Fiend. And he goes for a pinfall, and The Fiend kicks out at one. At one. I mean, a lot of people don't even kick out at all. Brock Lesnar kicked out, but on 2. So, I mean, that was something that was like, whoa. And then, again, another spear from Goldberg. 2 spears. 2 pinfalls. 2 kickouts. All right, so he tries it again. Another spear. Kick out. At this point, The Fiend starts fighting back. Does the mandible claw, gets him a couple times with that, and Goldberg fights out. He gets him again with it. Goldberg fights out. Another spear. Kicks out. 4 spears. Kicks out. I mean, I don't know why people are complaining. Like, dude, the guy took 4 spears from Goldberg, and he kicked out. Like, that's phenomenal. I don't care if the match was 2 minutes. To me, that's storytelling right there, that they were able to make such an impact with The Fiend with 4 spears. So now, Goldberg gets frustrated and now tries to pull off his jackhammer. Now, I have to say, it didn't look nice. He really didn't get The Fiend all the way up, so it kind of looked like a suplex. But that did the job, and Goldberg got the win and is now your new Universal Champion, 2-time Universal Champion. So congratulations to Goldberg. I mean, like I said, a lot of people were complaining that Goldberg won the title. How could he do that? He never wrestles. WWE always has to rely on the legends, and this is this, and blah, blah, blah. And for me, all I got to say is shut the up. Because really, it's just stop complaining, all right? Goldberg is a great wrestler, and honestly, he's not your average wrestler. Okay, look at Orange Cassidy. The guy never wrestles, but everybody goes nuts for him because of his gimmick. Goldberg isn't a gimmick. That is Goldberg. So the fact that that's just the man that who he is it's good enough, you know, and he doesn't need to do all these other moves to get over. The guy doesn't need a title to be over. But him going to WrestleMania and losing to someone else and putting someone else over is good for business. You know, for me, The Fiend doesn't need a title. The guy is a great wrestler. Bray Wyatt is a great artist when it comes to doing promos and when it comes to putting people over and just becoming a dominant force in WWE. I mean, the guy can just change his gimmick and just do so many things, and really he has a huge future, I think, in the movie business if he got into it. Guys, it could be a creepy killer. But, so Goldberg, yeah, is your new Universal Champion, whether you like it or not, folks. And we'll go on to WrestleMania. Who he's going to fight, I don't know. But I guess we'll find out. And for me, I think it was a good marketing idea for SmackDown because their ratings have been lacking a little bit. And to have Goldberg now go to SmackDown and have him guaranteed. Plus, now look what's going to happen. John Cena's coming to Friday Night SmackDown tonight. So Goldberg's going to be on SmackDown tonight. And so is John Cena. So could that be a match right there? I mean, that's pretty good. And then look, John Cena could win the title, break the record for him 17 times, and win the Universal title, something he's never done in his career, and then lose it to someone else. That just is good for business. Good storytelling. WrestleMania is for making moments, and I think this was a good idea. For me, I'm going to give the match a 4 out of 5, especially for the 4 spears. Listen, I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5. It wasn't a ridiculous match, but it told a story within that little bit of time. I thought that was really cool. All right, now we're going to break down the whole show with the ref rating, the match card rating, the production value, and the overall show rating. So we're going to start with the ref rating. I'm going to give the refs a 5 out of 5. I thought they did a great job considering, you're traveling on a flight 18 hours, and Sean Bennett doing a great job on that gauntlet match, and just everybody that contributed in the match did a great job. So 5 out of 5. For the match card rating, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I actually liked the way they lined everything up. We didn't see Brock Lesnar as your main event. Of course, I knew he wanted to fly back as soon as possible. But I did expect to see Goldberg as the main event. I liked that they did that. I liked that they had the women's match closer to the main event. I also liked that they started with the gauntlet match. It was something that was new and they got it out of the way. Loved everything they did with that. For the production value, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I thought it was great. The commentary was amazing. We had everybody from every show. Again, like I said, they did a great job with telling the stories, lining up these matches, and the production value as far as the fireworks and the showmanship and the big screens. And listen, there's a lot of money invested in those Saudi shows, so I'm going to give that a 5 out of 5. For the overall show value, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It wasn't a perfect show, but it definitely was a decent pay-per-view. A lot of people didn't like it. We're going to go into my Twitter poll, which is actually going to see a lot of people didn't like it. But for me, on my opinion, I didn't think it was that bad of a show. We did see that new trophy. We did see the return of The Undertaker. We did see new tag titles, The Miz and John Morrison. New Universal Champion. We saw Brock Lesnar obliviate Ricochet like everybody knew was going to happen. So, listen, we saw a rematch with the Cousins. So, I guess that's why a lot of people didn't like the show. But again, I thought it was a pretty good show, 4 out of 5. All right, so I put up a poll on Twitter, and I said, what did you think of Super Showdown? And 6% said fantastic. Another 6% said okay. And 87.5% said not a fan. And to me, that's actually pretty shocking. I didn't think it was that bad of a show. I'm obviously in the 6th percentile because I thought it was an okay show. I wouldn't say it was a fantastic show, but I'd definitely say it was an okay show. But I don't know, 87% saying not a fan. I'm pretty surprised of it, especially 16 votes. All right, thanks a lot for watching. If you have an issue with my ratings or reviews, I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a fan.